Welcome to this walkthrough video for how to do some of these system of equations story problems, and we're going to get going here. These are problems 4 through 6, and I think they showed up on page 165 in your textbook. So let's see if we can make some sense of them. And on each one of these I'm going to try to follow the same pattern. So on problem 4, 5, and 6 I'm going to start by defining a variable, an x and a y. I'm going to say in words what they're equal to, and then I'm going to figure out if I can get some equations from what's in the text, and then I'll see if I can solve the system of equations here. So let's just go ahead. I'm just kind of setting up stuff for what I'm going to do first. So for me, I'm going to read these questions, and I am going to try to follow that same idea of cubes. And so for me, it's just going to be cub here today, and I'm going to be circling some numbers. I'm going to be underlining the question, and I'm going to be boxing key terms. So let's see if I can do this. I'm going to circle some of the numbers here. So here's some numbers. Oh my goodness. And some numbers here. And I think I've got the numbers. I'm going to underline the question. At what distance do they both charge the same amount? They're asking me there, where do the lines cross? And then I'm going to box some key terms. So I see charge a flat fee plus. I see does not charge a flat fee but charges per mile driven. And I probably missed some, but I think you get the idea. I'm trying to get the stuff that looks like it might be the equation. So for me, this x is going to be, it seems like the per miles driven. So the miles driven is going to change. So number of miles driven is going to tell me what the charge is, or the total cost, total bill on this taxi. And if I have this, then I'm going to go by the sentences. This first sentence, I didn't box or square anything or circle anything. So to me, I don't think that's going to tell me an equation. I'm going to go to the second sentence. It says company A. So company A, let's just write this, C-O-A, company A, they charge a flat fee of $8 plus 10 cents per mile. So if I want to know their total bill for company A, I'm going to take the total bill is equal to a flat fee of $8. That's going to be added to the 10 cent a mile driven. So I take that sentence and I said the 8 is the flat fee and the 10 cents is what's changing based on the miles driven. So company B, same thing. Let's see if we can figure this one out. The total bill for company B is not going to be, there's no flat fee this time. So if I look up here, they say no flat fee, so there's no plus 8 or anything like that, but they are going to charge 60 cents a mile driven. So this is going to be the equation for them. So 0.6 or 6/10. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out where they're the same amount. Well, that sounds like a system. And I know that y will always equal y, and if that's true, I'm going to replace, I'll wait for my cursor to stop spinning on me. If this y is equal to this y, I'm going to take this equation here, or expression, and replace it for this y, and I'm going to take this expression and replace it for this y, so that I get something that looks like this, and this is where I'm solving the system. I'm going to say 0.10x plus 8 is equal to 0.60x. I'll make my math wall, subtract the smaller x from both sides. Oops, that's 10x. And I get 8 is equal to 0.5x. If I divide by 0.5 on both sides, I believe I get x is going to be equal to 16. And I'll just double check on my calculator. So I'm going to take 8 and divide it by 0.5. 8 divided by 0.5. Yep, Yahtzee. This is telling me in this question, at what distance do both companies charge the same amount? Well, x is miles driven. 16 is the answer. So I move on to question 5. I'm going to try to follow the same process. I'll go a little bit quicker this time. I'm seeing lots of numbers. I'm going to circle them as I go through. And let's see. I might miss something, but know that this is just my way of trying to make sense of what are the important sentences and what might be going on here. I'm going to underline how many snaps would the company have to make. Okay, alright, well let's see what happens here. And we've got an old machine and a new machine. I think is what's going on. I think it's saying when would it be better to buy the new machine. Okay, and I'm going to box any of the key terms. Let's see. There's a setup cost. That seems important. After the setup, it costs each snap. That seems important. Oh, the new machine has a setup cost. Oh boy. See this? They both have this. That seems like that's going to be in the equation. And then it only costs for each snap. This seems like this is going to be part of the information I need. So it seems to me that this snap keeps changing. So it attaches snaps. So X must be the number of snaps. Number of snaps. And then the Y is probably going to be total cost. And let's see if we can figure it out. So the old machine costs $1,100. So the total cost for the old machine, this is old. The old machine has a total cost. It has $1,100 no matter how many snaps I make, plus 12 cents for each snap. 0.12 times the number of snaps I use. The new machine, well, hot dog. It is a little bit better, except it costs $1,520 to set up. Its total cost is going to be this plus 9 cents, or 0.09x. And what it's asking me again to do with this is just to say, well, I know that y equals y, and in this case, I'm going to take this will be this y, and this will be this y. So I go ahead and I substitute it in 0.12x plus 1,100 equals 0.09x plus 1520. I make my math wall and I move my smaller x over. And in this case it's 0.09x, 0.09x, and I do that and I get 0.03x, or 3 cents, plus 1,100. I'm sorry, I copied this down wrong. 1,100 is what was up here, 1,100. And this is a zero pair, and this is 1,520. I subtract my 1,100 from both sides, and I'm going to get 0, 2, 4. Oh my goodness. It is late in the day. Maybe I'm messing up. It's too late. Okay. Let's see if I can fix that though. 1,100, and we get. I can't get over there to change the color. All right, and this is going to be 4, and those cancel out. So 420, and that's going to be equal to 0.03x, and I divide by 0.03. And I'll do this on my calculator just to make sure. 420 divided by 0.03. Oh, that's a lot of snaps. What that's going to tell me is x equals 14000, 14,000. So 14,000 snaps is when they both cost exactly the same. That's that one. Hopefully this next one's not too crazy, but we'll see. We'll make it work no matter what. And for some reason my cursor is not letting me go all the way over there. So let's get this back into blue. I'll try to make this fit. I can get this far. Okay. So for problem number 6, we've got the same setup, and I'm just going to go ahead and put some of the answers down this time, and we'll see if we can get through here. And it looks like individual costs for calculators, and so this is how much a calculator costs, and this is going to be protractors. Protractor cost. So what one would cost. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say Mrs. Wright, she has 40 she bought 40 calculators plus 30 protractors for $485. The other teacher bought 20 of each, and she spent, oops, that's supposed to be a 2, 20 of each. Why am I writing P? Goodness gracious. Let's fix these. If you're wondering why I'm doing that, I was using a different variable than what I wrote here. So the first person bought 30 protractors, and the other person bought 20 of them, and the second teacher spent $252. And we know that we're trying to make a zero pair here. Neither are zero pairs. I think what we're going to have to do is times this one by 2. And in fact by a -2, and that will make these guys. So I'm going to take this whole thing here and I'm going to times it by 2. So let me first rewrite the first equation. Normally I would work side to side. I'm running a little out of room on my screen, and I'm going to get the first equation is unchanged. The second equation is going to be changed because I'm going to times everything by -2, so I get negative 40x, negative 40y, and a negative 504. If I did that right, I think I did. Alright, and then I make my little math wall, or my summation line, and I put a big plus sign out here. This is going to be an elimination problem. These guys are eliminated. These guys become a negative 10y. And this becomes a negative, looks like 19. So it looks like to me, to solve this, I divide by negative 10. And I'm going to end up with y equals 1.9, or $1.90. 1.9, $1.90. And to figure out what the other one costs, I take this and I plug it back into either of the equations. I'm going to shift down here. So I take this 190 and I plug it back in for y. And I'm going to do it right here on the bottom equation. So 20x plus 20 times 1.9, or $1.90, equals $252. And let's see, so 20x, unchanged. 20 times 1.9, so 20 times 1.9 equals $38. And I have 252 still. Make my math wall, subtract 38 from both sides. So I get 252 minus 38, 214. That should be a 4. 214 and 20x. Divide by 20, divide by 20, and I'll end up with x is going to be equal to, so 214 divided by 20, it is $10.70. So $10.70. And we're done. We could plug them both back into either equation now to see if they work, but that is the answer, and that's kind of how you set it up. If you have questions, email me, please. Have a wonderful day.